Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? It's Keen. We're back. We're in the building with another episode of the Line in the Sands podcast. And as always, you got to guard the three. Brett, what's going on, man?
Not much. Counting down the days till I'm in Philly for WrestleMania. It's coming. I'm super excited.
You ain't never lie. Again, I picked a good night to go to. I know you the big baller over there going to all the festivities. Well, not you doing everything, right?
Oh yeah, I still have to get a SmackDown and Raw tickets, but yeah, I'm making NXT tickets too.
Oh well, I'm gonna be in the building for night two and the Raw. So that I'm gonna be down there for the night again, night two and Raw to go. Got to catch the Raw after WrestleMania is always the hottest ticket. But Mania is shaping up to be good. It's shaping up there. We're getting there. But we got some things to go over, and I'm scrolling through X or whatever, and I'm like, somebody returned tonight, y'all. Mr. Ty Dillinger, the perfect 10, but he's not the perfect 10. He's going back to the chairman. And people that do know me know I was a big, huge Ty Dillinger fan, and he left AEW. Now he's back. Your thoughts on Ty Dillinger, aka Mr. Sean Spears, back in the WWE?
I enjoy it. I've always enjoyed watching Ty Dillinger or Sean Spears. He's shown a willingness to adapt his character, and whatever role you ask him to do, he fills it to perfection. So I'm absolutely a fan of the Perfect 10 or the chairman, whatever you want to
The
call him.
chairman, the perfect 10. So now that was my guy. But he's back. He's the chairman role, so that's good for NXT. I do see the good fellas move down there as well because they didn't have nothing to do with them on the main stage since AJ is like by himself and Michin is off on her own. So they put the good brothers on SmackDown, on NXT as well. But let's get down to the nitty gritty of things here. We did have a pay per view last weekend. It was the Elimination Chamber. Predictable. We already knew who was going to win. It was too predictable. Called all the matches right. I just wanted to see great matches. So we kicked off Elimination Chamber with the women's Elimination Chamber, which I think was great. We had Bianca Belair, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Raquel Rodriguez, and who am I missing? Naomi. See, that's a shame.
Oh, yeah.
So great lineup we had. And of course, Becky Lynch did win the Elimination Chamber. This is the only thing she hasn't done. She won the Elimination Chamber. But other than that, Tiffany Stratton carried this match. Tiffany Stratton, Bianca Belair pretty much carried this match. The women's match. And Tiffany Stratton is hella over already, coming over from NXT. This is her maybe second big match on the main roster. Your thoughts about the women's match?
I thought it was predictable, but it was really good. It's almost the theme of the entire Elimination Chamber event. It was all predictable, but it was still a really good and fun event. We all knew that Becky was going to be going to face Rhea Ripley at Mania. Nobody doubted that for a second. But it showed how maybe soon it will be Tiffy time. She's really over. And then same with Liv Morgan. She is absolutely over too, so much that she's got a movement on social media. Maybe she'll get added to the women's match. So
we'll talk about that too. The Liv Morgan stands out there, protesting. But we definitely get into that. But Liv Morgan coming back definitely has some bright spots. I can see a storyline with, I get it. She was out. I don't know if she had a legit injury or was it the whole, she did get pulled over in Florida with the whole weed thing. So I don't know. But it does set up a good storyline. I don't want to see Liv Morgan in the WrestleMania. Not just yet. Again, but we'll talk about that. But Bianca Belair definitely and Tiffany Stratton definitely did carry this match. Tiffany Stratton, I'm a fan. Just the work that she put in, and Ludwig Kaiser is a very lucky man.
yeah.
Very lucky man. Just her in ring work is amazing. She got the best moonsault in the game. I keep telling people, Charlotte, better take notes. Charlotte, take notes. It's just so flawless and effortless. Bianca Belair definitely has some spots as well. The women's match was good. It had Stiffy Stratton went to the top of the pod, the swanton off that joint. It was a great match. It was great. I like the how the ending was. How it was like, um, one blow here, then a pinfall, and then Becky this, and she ended up winning. But the women's match definitely was a good. Now I didn't watch the main event because I was on a road trip. I had to travel to Minnesota, so yes, I was on the road. So I was in your neck of the. I was in your state. Brett, I'm in your home. I'm in your state. I was near Milwaukee and all that, but I was in Wisconsin. But anyway, I had to ride through. But next match we had was the tag team match, Judgment Day versus Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. This was a good, solid tag team match as well. I already knew Judgment Day was going to retain, um, but I do like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate in their tag team. What do you think about this match?
Once again, it was another solid yet predictable match, but I really like the result because it sets up the match that we want to see, right? I think they've been building towards it. WrestleMania, Judgment Day versus Awesome Truth. I think you have to do it, which meant, Dunn and Bate, couldn't really afford to win here, but they put on a good match. They showed out, and they protected them. They made it look like they came close. They looked like they got screwed over a couple times. So I was all there for it, and I thought it was great. And now we're building up towards hopefully R-Truth and the Miz, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely, because that crowd in Philly is going to go nuts when Judgment Day loses their titles. Yeah, I like this match too. We all know Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne can definitely put on a match. Judgment Day is always great too. Damian Pierce and Finn Balor, but it's going to be, I believe, some breakups are coming, because it's setting it up great for it to win, for it to go their separate ways. Judgment Day. Then we get to the men's chamber again. This whole pay-per-view was predictable. Only 4 matches. Australia was great. The crowd was lit. But I did hear some boos. I'm not sure if you heard some boos when Becky Lynch won. So I don't think everybody's too excited about Becky Lynch winning this. But on the men's side, we had LA Knight, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, London Paul, KO, Kevin Owens, and somebody else I'm missing? There was 6 of them. Who am I missing?
Did you say Drew?
Yes. Drew, KO, Bobby Lashley. So, we all know, of course, Drew McIntyre wins. He's going to Mania to fight Seth Rollins, and he's going to be in the main event of night 1. Your thoughts on this match?
I think that if you're an up-and-coming, aspiring professional wrestler and you want to learn how to sell, watch this match and watch Randy Orton the entire time, because his sell job of his back was like the greatest thing I've ever seen. You had people questioning if he actually re-injured his back. That's how good he was just selling the injury. I think this match was a fun one. I think the big takeaway, and I think a great takeaway from this, is if you want to see top-notch professional selling, look at Randy Orton. That was an absolutely phenomenal performance by him. I doubt he's actually, injured, because I'm sure they would have gotten him out of there real quick if he actually was. But, yeah, I thought this was a great match, and I was really impressed by Randy Orton. And not only that, I thought, Kevin Owens was a lot of fun to watch, too. Him, like, banging his head on the chamber when Logan came near and jumping him as soon as the chamber door opened. Like, overall, this was just a fun match.
The internet had me going crazy because it was like, really, AJ Styles flew 18 hours just to do nothing, just to get involved in the match he wasn't in. So of course AJ Styles, kind of screwed over LA Knight. I think we're going to see them 2 fight at Mania. That's going to set them up. Your thoughts on this whole AJ Styles and LA Knight feud?
It caught me off guard. It really did. But you know what? I'm here for it. I think it's going to be a great match, and it's going to be a great feud. I was really convinced that they were going to go LA Knight, Logan Paul. But, Randy Orton, Logan Paul, that's going to get more headlines. That's going to be a big match. And overall, I'm here for it. It's going to be a great match. I know those two are going to tell a great story.
And then we had your last main event, of course, the hometown hero and Rhea Ripley going up against Nia Jax in a WWE Women's Title match. Again, this is the only one I didn't see. I've seen snippets, but of course, Mommy's always on top. She defeats Nia Jax. Think about Rhea Ripley right now? She's super over, even as I don't know if she's a heel. But the fan, everybody loves her though. So I don't know if they're gonna make her a face. But then she can't be in the judgment. This is where the Judgment Day is going to go their separate ways. So it's just like, she's hot right now. You can't have her lose. But again, we're going to get into that. But your thoughts on the match though?
I thought it was fun. I thought they put on a solid match. That Riptide right at the end of Nia Jax was really impressive. Overall, it was a fun match, and we got the result that everybody wanted. So, you know what? I'll take it. And when it comes to Rhea being over, say just keep doing what you're doing. I think she's almost like a tweener right now. She's not a good guy or a bad guy. So I think, you just keep running that until it starts to get a little stale and change it up down the road. But, yeah, I think they're on a perfect course with her right now. They got a perfect balance going.
Like Rhea Ripley is the hottest thing right now in WWE in the women's division, in my opinion, with the title. I believe WWE is going to have her hold that title at least until next year. We get Rhea versus Bianca Belair. They setting that. If they do that right, it's setting it up nicely. Becky's going to put over Rhea Ripley at Mania. Becky's not winning this. The crowd is super over right now. They're almost going to have to make Becky like a heel coming into this because it's a lot of people aren't really cheering for Becky, and I don't know. It's like she's getting stale. It's just like, I don't know. She's just getting something about her. It's just, it's not like how it used to be. But Kyle asked, what about Nia Jax? Nia has impressed me a lot since she's been going. You can tell she lost a little weight, and she's not really destructive in the ring anymore. She worked on her mic skills and the in-ring moves. I like it. What do you think about Nia?
Yeah, I think she's doing great. I'm not worried about her hurting anybody. You can tell that she's put in a lot of work and time to perfect her craft. So overall, when it comes to Nia Jax, I think she's put in a lot of work, a lot of hours to really improve, and it shows. So I'm really happy with the strides that Nia's made so far.
And we had a Grayson Waller segment between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, and of course, they beat up Grayson Waller, and good 7 to plug in as well because Grayson Waller's also from Australia, so they had some fun with Mr. Austin Theory. So I think that was fun, and I don't know. R-Truth was in the wrong damn country. He was like, "Where's everybody at?" He's there in Australia. He in Austria. But okay, Truth. So I mean, again, protect Truth at all costs. But we all know that's going to run its course soon. But again, solid pay per view. By the Chamber. I'm sure they'll probably do something in Australia again. If the crowd was lit over there, I think it was like 52,000. So that crowd was pretty nice. Got some good pops. So this gives WWE a whole month now to build WrestleMania. I already know they got some cards down already. Of course, we got the 2 main events between both men titles. Got both women's titles. That's the main, women's and men's titles that we have so far. And then they can start filling stuff in. Kicking it off, recapping the Raw last night. Again, Rhea Ripley comes out. Crowd goes crazy. What do you think going to happen with the Judgment Day? So we already see Rhea is already over on her own. She doesn't need the Judgment Day. If she wants to take her and Dom, that's fine. Dom wasn't Dom until she got paired with him. So have Dominic stay with Rhea if that's the case. Priest, he had his Mr. Senior Money in the Bank. He has to cash that in sooner or later, and they're going to lose the titles to Awesome Truth. They're going to drop them titles. What we do with JD McDonough, I'm not sure, but what do you think is going to happen with the Judgment Day?
I think a breakup is coming sooner rather than later, probably shortly after WrestleMania. Really feels like that's where they're headed because Rhea didn't seem happy that Dom's picking fights with Gunther. I doubt that. I really doubt they're having Judgment Day beat Awesome Truth at WrestleMania, or at least they shouldn't. So overall, I feel like they're going to lose all their titles, and it's going to start the cause of a split. So it's been a great run. It's gone a lot farther than most people thought they would once they booted out Edge, but I think it's about time for them to pull the plug or figure out a new iteration.
I would love to see Damian Priest on his own a little bit more. He's a great solid wrestler in my opinion. He held a U.S. title or Intercontinental. One of them titles he had a singles run. I mean, if you want it, don't put the main title on him. If you want to give him a secondary, I mean, for now and work his way up to that's fine. Finn should definitely be in that category because he lost something. He got hurt. So the belt he had to relinquish it because he was hurt. So he lost something that he really didn't get pinned for or anything. So I think Finn definitely should be back in title contention. Maybe set up some new feuds. If Drew stays, definitely. But I see the Judgment Day breaking up as well. Now, when Rhea Ripley came out, did her promo, Becky Lynch came out. Becky Lynch talking all the, of course they talk us back and forth, getting ready for WrestleMania. Of course, Rhea Ripley said, "Whenever there's a good man, there's a better woman." I'm like, ah. So that was a great line, but Becky looking like she was a extra on the Michael Jackson Thriller set because it looked like she had a Michael Jackson Thriller suit on, the red and black. But then Nia Jax come out and beats the living hell out of her. So that feud's not over with them two. She was about to get hit with the Annihilator, but Adam Pearce stepped in. Um, your thoughts on this Becky Lynch and Nia Jax? Is she finally going to beat her?
Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of didn't expect that, honestly. I thought they would just turn around and kind of straight focus on Becky versus Rhea, but I think it's an interesting one, and I don't see them having. I don't see them giving Nia a victory to over Becky this close to WrestleMania at this point. But it's a fun little mini feud over the next couple weeks. So you know what? I'm all for it. I think it's more compelling television, and I think it should lead to a pretty fun match between the two.
Like I said, I'm all for it. Take my money. With the whole Rhea, not Rhea, Becky and Nia Jax. I believe next week on Raw. I think they might be fighting. I think I'm not exactly sure if I missed that or not. But also on Raw, Mr. Paul Heyman, he was in the building, and he did say that Rock is going to be on SmackDown we get Rock for 2 weeks. He now has two cell phones. Call Roman Reigns, call The Rock. So he got two iPhones now. He can go call people. Cody Rhodes defeated Grayson Waller in the pinfall match. I don't know why, but we saw Nakamura and Sami Zayn open up the show, which was a good match. Sami Zayn gets in the win column. He's trying to get on a path to WrestleMania. Now we all know Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, best champion. No one's beat him yet. Is it possible we could see Sami Zayn versus Gunther at WrestleMania?
Not only do I think it's possible, I feel like at this point that's the match that we should go with. I think those two would bring out the best in each other, and I know Dom is interesting, but I feel like that should just be a match for like next week on Raw because let's be real, it wouldn't touch the caliber of match that Zayn and Gunther would have. And Zayn is perfect in an underdog role, exactly what he'd be against Gunther. They'd beat him up, they'd make him suffer, and that's where Sami Zayn really thrives. So I think for the sake of the story, fan reaction, match quality, that's the match for Gunther at WrestleMania over like him and Dom.
I can see Michael Cole now. Hello, like heck. You know how Cole gets animated. And that's when it's at his best when Michael Cole is Michael Cole and him being himself. He don't got Vince in his ear saying he can't do this. So Michael Cole's going to be at his best when WrestleMania comes. I can already tell. But yeah, I think Sammy could be in line. I know Chad Gable was talked about. So I mean, I think Sammy could be in the perfect spot, like you said. Will they have him drop it? I think so because Gunther now needs to go move into the title contention. I'm all for him dropping the title. He's gonna hold that record forever. I don't see anybody else passing him with that. So new feuds. I'm all if Drew stays, you can see Drew and Gunther, Priest and Gunther like for the title. I'm all for it. So I think that not Seth. I think Sami Zayn might be in line for an Intercontinental title shot at Mania. Again, we had talked about Nia Jax attacking Becky Lynch. Sami Zayn defeated Nakamura. Imperium and New Day in a street fight. This probably was the best fight of the night. Imperium does get the victory in a street fall. So I think that ends their feud now. I think they fought a couple times. But what's going to move on with Imperium now in the New Day?
Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure what the future holds for either team. I'm sure that'll all depend. I'm sure if Gunther does get into a feud with Judgment Day, that's a built-in feud for Imperium right there. But overall, I'm not sure. I think the right call was made. New Day has had plenty of success. They've won their fair share of matches, so putting over Imperium, that is the right call. But where they go with each team at this point, I'm not sure. This close to Mania, I don't know if either team has a spot on the card unless they do like a triple threat or fatal four-way tag team match.
Then you had Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins come face to face. Pretty much, Drew McIntyre was like, "I don't need you in the Bloodlines business. I need you healthy. This is my moment. I won this. So you need to be healthy." I mean, he wasn't lying. And I know he wants to be in Cody's corner when it comes down to taking the Bloodline. I can see later on down the line, maybe SummerSlam-ish, or I think we're going to get that tag match between Roman and Rock and Cody and Seth. Looking down to it, we might see that. Just don't know when. But it's how it's looking, it's lining up. We're finally getting some clarification of why Cody said what he said at Wrestle. Said he said, "Oh, he's going to fight The Rock, and not take his spot." Little snippets and nuggets has been dropped, but your thoughts on Drew McIntyre right now? Drew McIntyre has not been signed. Do you think he will eventually sign his contract with WWE?
I think he will. I think he's in a great spot. Clearly, they're giving him a lot of creative freedom, and he looks like he's having the best time of his life. I'd argue that he's on the best run of his life. So I think he'll resign, and even if they don't, I'm still putting the title on him because right before it expires, you can always have a cash-in. So they have a built-in security measure in case he doesn't resign. But when it comes to Drew, I think he's in a perfect spot and should resign.
Cody and Seth hitting dual pedigrees on Rock and Roman, that'll be classic. No, I think Drew gets a deal done. I think he's trying to not hold out, but I think maybe he's already signed and he's just sending out smoke screens. Just don't want to let nobody know yet. But I think he stays only because this whole CM Punk feud that I think is going to go down once Punk is back. He already has CM Punk shirts. He calls himself DM Punk. So I mean, Drew McIntyre right now is the pettiest heel, and I like it. I'm loving this Drew right now. You have to give him the title. I think we'll see Seth lose this. I think Drew will have the title for a while, and I think Drew stays because I think he's going to beat Seth at Mania. I mean, he got robbed of his championship. It was during COVID year. Nobody was in the arenas. Nobody couldn't enjoy it. So I think they put the title on Drew for a while. Give Drew some people again. Gunther and Drew, take my money. I'm down with that. Drew and Damian Priest. So I mean, give him some other people to throw at. I like it. This Drew is petty, but he makes sense at the same time. So I mean, people still boo him, but they like he's in my opinion, he's like an in betweener. But I don't know. But I like this Drew. I'm sure you're digging this Drew.
Oh, 100%. I always love myself a petty king, but just the way that he just carries himself and almost just likes to really troll and mess with everybody has been absolutely fantastic.
Then we get Liv Morgan. The Liv Morgan fans aren't happy. Why aren't they happy? Because they think that Liv Morgan should get a title shot at Rhea Ripley and not Becky Lynch. I understand and I get it. But when you're out, you get put behind the back burner, and you just don't, everything skips over you because you're hurt. It doesn't stay the same, so you got to work your way back in. Um, I hope they don't throw her in a triple threat situation because all it is going to do is Liv Morgan's going to take the pin. Just have Becky and Rhea fight at Mania. Then you always got WrestleMania Backlash or one of them shows that Liv Morgan can definitely fight Rhea for a title and get her title shot. I I don't want to see Liv Morgan repeat of the championship because her last championship run was absolutely horrible. Your thoughts on Liv Morgan and this whole her fans getting behind her and saying she should be in the main event or she should have a title shot?
I think that falls apart because let's say they put her in a title match and she wins. What plans have they realistically made for her? None. They would probably be kind of like, okay, where do we go from here? So they'd almost be winging it, and I don't think that's good for anybody involved. I don't mind Liv Morgan getting another title reign, but make it happen at like SummerSlam or the Royal Rumble or some pay per view down the line where they had a couple months to really iron out the reign and try to make it memorable. Like, okay, this is point A, this is point B, where they want to go, but just hot shotting her into the title picture just seems like the recipe for an absolutely clueless and quite frankly disastrous title reign.
Yes, because her last reign was absolutely horrible. She cashed in, got the money in the bank. She cashed in on Ronda Rousey that same night. I was happy that belt was off Ronda because Ronda was horrible too. Let's just be real, y'all. Ronda Rousey sucked in the WWE. She had her run, she had her times, but no. I was at Extreme Rules when Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey fought. When I say the Wells Fargo Arena, Wells Fargo was quiet, you can hear a pin drop. That match sucked so bad. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Ronda Rousey's like the Michael Carter Williams of WWE, just peaked it right in the first game, and then just regressed hard after.
Oh, it was so bad. It was Brett. I've never experienced that in my life. I mean, it was silent. You literally can hear a pin drop if it dropped. It was bad. I'm like, no, she got to go. Everybody was cheering for Ronda. Like, that's how bad it was. It was so horrible. It was horrible. But Liv Morgan is just not the time yet. It is not your time. So Becky Lynch is going to put over Rhea Ripley. She's going to lose. Rhea Ripley is going to take that title and go into next year. They're going to set up Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. I take my money too. That's going to be an excellent fight. So that means they're probably going to have Bianca maybe win the Royal Rumble again, or maybe Elimination Chamber situation. So we'll definitely see. But your thoughts on Rhea getting put over?
Unless there's going to be a full-blown heel turn from Becky Lynch, I think that's the only logical solution at this point. Now, because I don't think she could win the title and go on as the man character because people would boo it. They're already starting to boo her. They're already starting to get tired of it, right? So if they do go bold and have her beat Rhea at WrestleMania, they better have a whole character change ready. She's got to turn heel. There's really no other way around it. But yeah, I think she's just coming in to, put over Rhea, in a really good match because she's very capable of getting a great match out of Rhea, and Rhea is always capable of putting on a great match herself. So I don't see any scenario in which Rhea doesn't walk out champion realistically.
Yeah. SmackDown side. Did I watch SmackDown? I mean, SmackDown was okay. I mean, ain't really nothing. I think we're gonna finally see Jimmy and Jay fight at Mania. I think it's setting them up because Jimmy did interfere in the IC title match with Gunther. He almost had him. Jimmy came out solo. I think we're going to see that. Do you see the Usos getting back together anytime soon, or do you think they'll get back together?
I could see it maybe happening after WrestleMania sometime because I'm not sure how much longer. Because Jey Uso's on a great run right now, but we know the fans, they'll get tired of the character eventually. And does Jey Uso have another character that'll really engage the fans up his sleeve? I'm not too sure. Once his run here starts to tinker out, that's when I think they'll kind of start toying with the idea of bringing the Usos back together. Could be SummerSlam, could be next year, 2 years from now. I'm not sure how long, Jay can ride this hot streak, but yeah, I'm going to predict within the next year or so. Within the next year, the Usos will be back together.
Yeah, most definitely. I can see it. I can't wait to see what the other the card is going to be like. I feel like you can't put all your eggs in a basket on Mania. There's 2 nights for a reason. Break it down in matches. Good to see Raquel Rodriguez back. I know she was out for a while. I don't know what Chelsea Green was thinking about talking smack to her. Talking about she didn't win. She shouldn't have been in the match. Should have been me in squash match. So I mean, I like how Samantha Irvin says your name, Chelsea Green, but other than that, you stink too. But what's next for Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown? Who do you see her next feud with? Do you see her champion on one day on SmackDown?
She's definitely going to be champion. She's already getting way too popular to not be, in the running. And let's be real, I don't think that popularity is going away anytime soon. I'm not sure who she's going to face at WrestleMania if she, makes the card this year, because she is a newcomer, so they might opt for, some other guys. But I think that Tiffany Stratton has a bright future, and she's going to be a future star. She's going to be a future women's champion. I don't think there's any question about
that. Do they bring? Well, Jade's going to be on Raw. Do you think? Well, Bailey's definitely going to be EO. So I think that match is going to go in Bailey's favor. We can have Bailey versus Tiffany. Tiffy time. Fantasy booking. Who would y'all want to face Stratton? Ooh. Does it have to be on Raw? I mean, does it have to stay on SmackDown, or can it be like on Raw? Or Tiffany and Bianca would be good. I'll take Tiffany and Rhea. Yeah, that would be a good match.
Yeah, man, this is tough because I'm trying to think, right? Because you want to start Tiffany, like have her slowly work her way up, because I think if I was fantasy booking it, I would have her win the title at, like, let's say SummerSlam, give her a nice crowning moment, and slowly build her up over these next 6 months, have her eventually beat Bailey. I think that's where the end game is, or at least that's where I would put it. So I think I would start her small. Maybe give her a mini feud with, like, Candice LeRae to start, and then slowly work her way up. Then maybe go to Natalia. She seems to get beat by every newcomer, and slowly work up the food chain.
Yeah, I wouldn't put her too high, just too high right now. Start her off. See, she already slapped the bull crap out of Mia Yim. That was hilarious. But I think her next feud could be Bianca, because they already had some beef, so I can see that coming. Can you wait till Charlotte come back? Oh my God, y'all better! I'm telling you, Charlotte better take notes on how to do a moonsault. Either perfect your moonsault or don't do it at all.
I think she's just too tall. There really just seems like she's just so, like, lanky that it's just more difficult for her.
Right, and then when she goes to do it, she don't land it all the way. Either she misses completely or she only gets part of it. So Charlotte, just don't do the moonsault. Just don't do moonsault. Figure out something else to do. Just don't do the moonsault. Bronson Reed was supposed to be at EC, but his wife went into labor early and they had their first child. So congratulations to Bronson Reed. But also, it was supposed to be Bronson Reed. No, it was supposed to be Gunther versus Brock. And we all know what happened to Brock. Man, that's a match we're never going to get to see now. Like, who would they have won this match?
I think the answer to that is Gunther, because Brock, let's be real, even let's say if Brock still stuck around after the lawsuit, maybe he has another year left. I don't see him being around much longer. He's definitely not going to be around to defend the Intercontinental title. So I think they would have had a fun match, but I think you would have to put Gunther on top for that one.
I still, that's a take my money dream match right there. So I don't know if they was gonna do. I mean, Bronson Reed wasn't gonna win, but still, it was just nice to have him in his hometown, in Australia. But of course, things happen, and his wife went into labor early, so they did welcome their first child into the world. So I'm sure we'll get more opportunities to go overseas, and Bronson Reed will be a part of that. But who is the star next you would like to see come up from NXT?
Man, that's tough. Not gonna lie. Because the ones I was looking forward to, right? They kind of already came up. Because I was gonna say Trick, but he already showed up on SmackDown. Probably next, I would think Carmelo Hayes. He hasn't shown up on Raw or SmackDown, so
Right.
honestly, I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm going to go with Hayes. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Braun Breaker's already on SmackDown. But how that's gonna work though? It's the tag team titles with Corbin.
Yeah, he is. But when Kevin Owens first came to the main roster, he was
That's
the
right.
NXT champion.
That's right. He was NXT champion. You're right. After R-Truth and Miz win the tag team titles, who's next in line?
Who's next in line? Let's see. Let me start trying to think of all the tag teams.
So you got Imperium. There's the Street Profits. You got the Creed brothers.
I'm gonna go.
Corbin coming back to the main stage. If they give Corbin if Corbin gets the lone, is he the lone wolf again? That was the best character Corbin had. You can't give him back his long hair, but the lone wolf is his best character. Every time there's a WWE game, do you know what my finishing move is with my creative player?
End of days.
End of days. That's my favorite move. That's my favorite move.
If I could pick a tag team, because I don't want them to lose in their first feud, right? So I would probably start. I would say probably start with like Alpha Academy. Would be a fun start. Give them some good matches. Get them some momentum. Because I think the long game, you have them lose to, I think, the Creed brothers. So I don't think Miz and R-Truth are going to have a long title reign. I don't think it's going to last like even near SummerSlam. It might not even last until WrestleMania Backlash or whatever the next pay-per-view is going to be. But
DIY you could throw in there.
Yeah, DIY would be a fun one. But yeah, so I'm going to guess that they're going to feud with, I'll go Alpha Academy, DIY, and then they lose to, I'll go with they lose to the Street Profits, actually.
To see the Street Profits getting back on top. In my opinion, I feel like they did the Street Profits a little dirty. When Sonya Deville was in charge, it just feels like she could not, did not want to give them their title rematch. So I can see the Street Profits being on top again. I forget you got what the hell is what is them fools' names over on SmackDown? Pretty Deadly. I'm naming tag teams. I forgot about them. You got Humberto Carrillo and you got the LWO. You got them. So there's some good tag teams out there. But I'll take the Profits over.
I ain't trying to see an LWO tag title run at this point. I think I'd rather see like anybody else in the LWO at this point.
Don't know when Ray's coming back. Don't know when Carlito's coming back. It's just I forget their names. I'm not saying that they're irrelevant, but I just don't know. I forget their name. What is his name? Brett, come on, help me out.
I know. I honestly can't remember their name either, and that's kind of the issue, right? Because you knew Ray, you knew Carlito, but the issue with the other two is they're really good wrestlers, but nothing else really stands out about them. And 98% of the roster are also really good wrestlers, so their names don't cross my mind half the time because they're just kind of lumped in with the group. So that's just kind of my issue with like handing an LWO title reign or anything.
And Is it Jock Queen? Is it Jock Queen something? Cruz? It is something. It's gonna irk my nerves. I gotta look it up because it's bothering me that I don't know that their names is right there. The LWO peoples. LWO members. Thank God. Okay, Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there we go.
And Zelina Vega. I knew it was something. Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro. Got you. All right. I knew it was somewhere. It was on the tip of my tongue. I was like, I know these names. I knew their names.
I think it almost goes to show how relevant like the LWO is at this point.
Right. That can care less. But I do like, Carrillo and them getting together. I'm sure that WWE is going to have some type of Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I'm sure you'll see them in the mix there. Who does Logan Paul fight for U.S. title though on the Mania?
I'd imagine Randy Orton. That seems like that's the setup they're going for at this point.
So they're going to make Randy U.S. champ.
Honestly, they might end up just having Logan Paul beat Randy Orton. I could see it. I could see that one going either way. That's a fun one because it could realistically go either way, right? Maybe they give Randy Orton another title reign, but letting Logan Paul hold on to it a little longer and then maybe pass it along to someone younger, maybe like LA Knight at like SummerSlam or an up-and-coming talent, really helps solidify it.
LA Knight, yeah. The RKO out of nowhere. That definitely would be interesting. Mo does not like LA Knight.
Let's be real.
He's already stated his piece. He does not like LA Knight.
Let's be real with LA Knight. I can already tell you what he's doing at WrestleMania. I'll even announce it for you. And the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, LA Knight. Yeah.
Now we putting him in the Battle Royal. That's just I don't know. But what about I forgot about Authors of Pain in that tag team match, in the tag team conversation too. I don't know if they're gonna slap titles on them just yet. But definitely good to see them in the tag team. So there's tag teams now. We just gotta, build that division up. Logan Paul, U.S. title, again, great performer. Again, he's not full-time. He's a part-timer, too. So I wouldn't think they would want the part-timer with a belt either. So, but I just don't know. I don't know. What else I had on the docket? The Undertaker. He stated that leadership in the locker room, he just doesn't see it. What do you think about his comments and what he said?
I mean, I'm sure there's some leadership because he also stated that he's not around very often. I'm assuming with the Undertaker, I'm sure there is. It just looks a lot different than when he was around because he was the locker room leader. He was the judge of wrestlers' court. Like, he was the guy that really maintained order, and I'm sure they're doing things a completely different way than he did it. So, now, obviously, I'm not somebody to really try to discredit what the Undertaker says, but at the same time, my guess is they just do things a different way, and maybe it's just not connecting with them. But you know what? I'm not gonna try to disprove the Undertaker. So,
like I say, he's never around. I'm sure there are some guys back there who's taking a leadership role. It's not all, hardcore all the time. I'm sure somebody steps up. Mo said Lashley's future. Don't know what's going on in Lashley's future right now. I know they're supposed to be feuding with Karrion Kross and them. They haven't really went back to them. So I don't know what's happening. Their little stable that they have, B-Fab's in the mix now. Will we see them four fight? Maybe B-Fab will have a match somewhere along the line. We don't know. But again, I wouldn't mind seeing the Profits again with some tag team gold on around their waist. Definitely deserve it. tag team division just is I think it's getting up there now. Vince wasn't really big with the tag teams, but Triple H made tag teams. If y'all watched NXT, the old black and gold, that was tag team mania over there. You had some great tag teams, and when they came to WWE, they dismantled them. That was Vince. The Bond Villains was one of them. That was my favorite tag team in NXT. They come over to the main roster and completely.
It all went downhill for them when the New Day made a time machine. That really. I think with Lashley, a fun thing to do with him would be, because let's be real, if Randy Orton does beat Logan Paul, it's not like he needs a long United States title reign. Why not give him like a month or two and then give Lashley a United States title run? Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley.
But ain't they on Raw? Ain't they on SmackDown though? Lashley and them on Raw, ain't they?
Why do I think they're on SmackDown?
No, they're on Raw.
Oh.
But Karrion Kross and them attacked, and that's why I'm like, ain't they on SmackDown? So they wouldn't even give Lashley a title run unless they give him Intercontinental.
No, that's fair. They like break the brand split rules so often. I lose track of like who's where sometimes. So because I feel like that would be a fun spot for him to win like the United States title for a while, but at this point, I don't even know what their brand split rules are.
Right, because I know Bobby was like, well, if the Profits, you come with me, I can teach you this and that. So I don't know if Lashley's going to fight or he's just going to, bring up the Street Profits, them have gold, or, maybe he goes after gold. I don't know. But the storylines are getting set up for Mania. Should be a good one. I don't know who's going to be on night 1 and night 2. Definitely know Roman and Cody's going to be night 2. Seth and Drew is going to be the main event on night 1. So I don't know where the women's matches are going to be, who's going to be where. I think they would probably want Rhea on night 2, Becky night 1, or they might switch it around. Either way, I'm getting a women's match on night 2.
Yeah, I could see the women's matches opening the show because they're the two most important matches, right? The opening and the closing. So I could see them having the women go out there first and set the tone for the rest of the night.
Definitely set the tone. That is great. And hopefully they have your bathroom snack breaks available. Because don't put nothing whack first. That's horrible. I forget what match it was, and I'm just like, this starting the match? This is starting? So you can't have Mania start off bad because Philly will let you hear it.
I remember the first ever WrestleMania. So it was WrestleMania 22, and the first match was Carlito and Chris Masters versus Kane and the Big Show. And I'm like,
my God.
And I'm just watching this slow plotting match. I'm like, what is going on? I thought this was WrestleMania.
You think we'll get Michael Cole and Corey Graves? Probably will do that. They did Chamber. I don't think we'll see what's his name, Pat McAfee. Graves and Wade Barrett are doing pretty good on SmackDown. I think they're going to keep them too. Raw's going to have their two, and then Corey and Cole will do all the pay-per-views. So I mean, so far it's going good. The ring announcing. Interesting to see what The Rock has to say on Friday. What he has to say. Hopefully he do not wear that Versace vest. Please don't.
Dude, man, I'm not gonna lie, I think I gotta get a Versace vest for next week.
Oh no.
Get the sunglasses and everything.
So apparently they was gonna have Jade Cargill, but they axed that card, that fight. I forget who they was gonna have her up against. When are we gonna see Jade again?
Why not at WrestleMania? I would give her a big WrestleMania match. Like, there's still like a couple like matches left before the card becomes like oversaturated, and I would give one of those to Jade. Give her a big match. Give her that Kevin Owens beating John Cena in his first match, kind of vibe. Have her go bold. Have her go up against a big star. Like, Trying to think who would count as a big star. Maybe like
Because Jade's on Raw, right?
yeah. So maybe
Naya is not who I think about. I don't think you put her against Raquel Rodriguez on a SmackDown on the Mania. That's a Raw card. That's a Raw match actually.
Mania. It would be something like go bold, like put her against Bianca or Asuka, and then just have her beat them in her first match.
She doesn't need a match. Have her show up post match. I mean, they gotta work her in sooner or later. I'm sure they're working. I'm sure she's getting worked with. I don't know, like Shawn Michaels or somebody's working with her. But I guess they want to make sure her in ring skills are the best because at times she forgot her spots in AEW. I haven't watched the AEW in God knows how long, so I don't even know what's going on. I know it was Swerve and Hangman again.
Yeah, we all the pay per views this Sunday. It's sounding pretty good. We got Sting's last match.
Oh, it is. Oh, I might watch. That's right. It's Evolution. I might actually watch that then. Sting's last match. Hangman and Swerve again. Um,
So yeah,
Kyle said he's never watched AEW. I mean, you really ain't missing much. I mean, like it was lit in the beginning. Like I said, I went to my first one, got to experience the Judas Effect with Chris Jericho's music coming out, and then this past one I went to, I was bored out of my mind on the floor seats. Bored out of my mind. Except for Ric Flair being the highlight of my night coming out with Sting. But I don't know, just ain't something about AEW is not the same. I know what's his name? MJF is not on screen yet. He's I guess selling that injury. Same as Adam Cole. So I just don't know what's going on lately. But I know they having a triple threat match. I know it's Warlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, and somebody Archer. So 3 beefy guys, going at it. But I haven't watched the AEW in so long. I don't even know what's going on.
yeah, no, you pretty much nailed the main ones going on. We got Timeless Tony Storm versus I think it's Deonna Purrazzo. Then it's actually a triple threat with Samoa Joe, Hangman, and Swerve.
Okay.
Sting and Darby versus the Young Bucks, the triple threat that you just mentioned. So it's shaping up to be a pretty good card. There's the one thing that AEW never really disappoints in is they always put on really good pay-per-views.
They just don't know. Tony just don't know when to keep his mouth shut or when to solid book people the right way. And don't you know he's having a Ring of Honor card on the same day as WrestleMania weekend? Ain't nobody gonna be in that part of town in Philly while they having Ring of Honor. Come on now. And if they do it during the afternoon or something, that's during NXT Stand and Deliver. Why would he do that?
You know what? It's not as brute. Like, so the last AEW pay-per-view or the show I went to that was here, it was a lot of fun, but it was like a lot of wrestling to take in because they had they filmed Dynamite,
Yeah,
Rampage,
you get
Ring
Rampage
of
at the end.
Honor, and then it was pretty much like 11 o'clock, and we're just like, yeah, we're gonna go home. I don't really care that much what happens in Ring of Honor. Worked out perfectly because I got a picture. I left, went back to the place where we were parked, and it turns out it was the same hotel that the wrestlers were staying at, and I got a picture of Adam Cole.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I stayed for Rampage. I should have went home. I didn't get home till like 12 o'clock. Cause I'm like, you get to see an extra hour show. It's a 2-for-1 for the price of one. I mean, I get it. The Rampage is so dry, it don't make no sense.
Yeah, I was cool with the 2-for-1, but when they started throwing a third, like a 3-for-1, and started throwing Ring of Honor, I was like, oh.
If you're gonna do that, it goes tell people to get there early so y'all can tape it. Have it early. But yeah, again, I might tune in to AEW. Then we might go over that next week. Then I totally forgot Revolution Sting's last match. This is where he first came to AEW. This is where we're gonna finish. The Young Bucks. I did see snippets. I know they was going at Tony Schiavone And to apologize, they gave him a $25 Amazon card. And they named the move after him. I'm like, okay. But anyway, we are going to end things here. It's definitely been an hour talk of some wrestling. Good to see, us back. Again, next weekend we'll go over SmackDown, Raw, any news that came out. Also, they had, who was it? One of the somebody's coming into the bloodline, or somebody got hired.
Oh, like
Toma Tonga?
Yeah. Well, we know how WrestleMania 40 ends. New bloodline member and still your Universal Champion.
Oh God, no, Brett, no. Philadelphia will riot. We were riot, and it's crazy. I got to go to work the next day. I'm not gonna have no voice. It's okay. It's all right. But I'm excited. It's coming near. I think I'm gonna get my Yeet shirt for Raw. That'll be for Jay. Just gotta figure out my WrestleMania shirt. Brett, I swear I better not see you with no Jinder Mahal shirt.
I'm actually going to be buying a Jinder Mahal shirt soon, but
don't hinder the Jinder.
I'm gonna buy the Hinder the Jinder shirt, and I'm gonna buy a couple more. I haven't decided which ones yet, but never fear, everybody. Jinder Mahal is one of them, because we don't hinder the Jinder on this show.
Oh my god. But okay. But that is it, y'all. Make sure y'all tune on back here next week. Hopefully Chris can join us next week. Definitely it's always a pleasure, Chris, to come on when he can. He don't like certain people, and that's what makes it funny. That's what makes it funny. He don't like certain people. We're like, how do you not like him? But yeah, it should be interesting. Watching this road to WrestleMania get built up definitely is good. Hopefully we get some more matches later on, because we definitely have those 4 matches solid. So it's starting to be a good card. I figure probably 7 to 8 matches on the one in that one night. I'm assuming it's going to go probably maybe 7 depending. I'm sure everybody has their own time slot to get everything in. So, but it should shape up to be a good Mania if they do it right. If they do it right, we can book WrestleMania, but any last words before we get on out of here?
No, thank you all for tuning in. It was a great time, and make sure you acknowledge your tribal chief today.
Because we the ones. On that note, we are signing off, y'all. Appreciate y'all in the chat always. Mo, Oliver, Kyle. Appreciate y'all, Daniel, Barry. Make sure y'all tune on in next week. I got more stuff to talk about, more stuff to go over. Hopefully we have some surprises. Maybe, again, like I said, Chris, maybe Chase might grace his presence. We don't know. But the more the merrier. Love always talking wrestling. So y'all enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. And tune in for more content here on Sports Empire Network. Everybody, y'all have a good evening. Later.
What are we talking about? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play.